Kevin. That's it. That's it. Nothing more.
I don't know what else to tell you, though. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what else to do.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Then I will make a note of everything you and I discussed, and that's all I can do. And if that's all you want to do, that's fine.
That's all I can do as well. But I'm just, if you guys, if you guys don't want to correct your billing information, I'm not going to call in. I'm not going to call back anymore. These correspondences keep coming to this mailing location. They're just going to be shredded. I'm not going to take the time out to try to help you guys with anything. You obviously guys, you don't want my help, alleging that you cannot follow up on, alleging that you cannot send a bill to the Treasury, which is complete nonsense. So, being that you guys don't want to, you obviously don't want to collect the debt. You're not showing that you're making an effort to do it. Because did you send anything to 2250 Nostrand or 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue and heard anything from them? Did they tell you no, don't send stuff there? Because you haven't told me that yet.
We're not.
You haven't told me that yet. You haven't told me, well, we did send something over there and they said this was the wrong address. You didn't say that yet. So to me, you have not. You representatives of this ghost have not even made an attempt to collect on the debt according to the information that I've given you. So it shows me you guys are really trying to. It seems like you're trying to really just extort something from someone who's using this name. And I'm letting you know you can't extort anything from me. You can't extort anything from me that I don't have. Okay? I don't work for money. I will never work for money. Okay? If I do work underneath that name, okay, I'm not working as that name. I'm working for the name. So the name is for the public benefit and for the benefit of the United States. That's what I use the name for. I don't use the name for my benefit. I use that name for the benefit of the public and the United States. So the United States is the only one that makes money to that name. So if you're going to garnish anything or get a judgment for anything, because I'm not showing up to court, because it's none of my business. So you're going to garnish anything, the garnishment is going to go on, you're going to garnish it from the United States, okay, and the debt is just going to be added on to the debt clock, the national debt. You can just add that debt on to the national debt. Because all I can advise you guys to do is just close the account, sign it off as a bad debt, let the IRS write it off as a bad debt or something. But there's nothing else. There's nothing else I can assist you with. I'm sorry. I would like to help you guys out more, but there's nothing more that I can do because it's outside of my capacity.
I understand. No problem, sir. I mean, at this point in time, what I'm going to do is make a note of everything that you and I discussed today, like I said, and I'll make a note that your intention is not to give the statements to anyone, to go ahead and shred them, and then you will be good to go. I can't tell you anything else.
All right, man.
I don't know what else.
I hear you, man.
I don't know what else you want. So.
It's not me that wants anything. It's you guys. All I wanted to do is just help you guys. So I'm not the one that wanted anything here.
Right,
it's you guys that want something.
That address is the state treasury. That address is not as a representative, or not the representative, but on behalf of Kevin C. George. That address was not an address that would go to directly to that person.
What proof do you have of that?
Because you told me that. You told me where it was being sent to.
No, I'm saying that what proof do you have that the Treasury's address or the Social Security's address, the 2250 Nostrand or the 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue is not an appropriate address? What proof, or where do you get the information that these are not appropriate addresses?
Well, the appropriate address that we have right now, the 2250 Nostrand Avenue, Brooklyn, New York,
right.
It's never been set back to us saying it's an incorrect address.
Okay.
What I'm telling you is every time that we've sent something to that address, that it has been accepted, and therefore we are keeping it on file. That is what I'm saying.
What has been accepted?
The statements. If they're not accepted, they are sent back to Nelnet, and we then would change an address.
All right. So when you sent it to Washington D.C., they
We
didn't.
didn't change it.
They
No, we
they
didn't change it to Washington, D.C. because that's the United States Treasury. We're not
right.
sending a statement to them. That's
Well,
literally
then, I mean, if you guys don't want to send a bill where it's supposed to go, whose problem is that? I mean, really, whose problem is that now?
I told you I cannot put that address on file.
Why not? You didn't even make any sense. You didn't even make any sense to explain to me why you can't send that there.
Because it is not a mailing or billing address for the appropriate person.
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know? I want to know. How do you know that? How do you know? How do you know that?
Because if you're saying that you are not Kevin C. George, that you're just representing that name, then you cannot change an address to something else that has nothing to do with that person.
But where did you get the address? Where did you get the address in the first place?
It was signed on the promissory note.
All right, but obviously the person who was authorized to sign that note is the same person that gave the first address. So what's the difference now?
I know, but you're saying that you don't go by that name, that you can't use that name, or you don't.
I never went by the name, but you still took the address information and sent a statement out, right?
Right, because you signed the promissory note, which someone watched you sign the promissory.
All right, but still, my point is, Nelnet still sent out a statement because it had an address that was given to it by someone that was authorized to sign that note. Okay, so my question is, how is it that you cannot send a bill that the same person who signed the notes, the same person who gave the address the last time, how come now that same person cannot give you an address?
So okay, let me just ask you this. Is that where Kevin C. George resides as a human being? Does he reside?
Kevin C. George is not a human being. Is Nelnet a human being? Is Nelnet a human being? Let's go over this one more time. Where do you have proof that Kevin George is a human being as opposed to a name? How is a name a human being? Could you explain to me, how can a name be a human being? How is a name a human being?
Okay, Nelnet does not have a personal social security number. Kevin C. George has a social security number directly to his name along with the date of birth.
So a social security number turns a name into a human being. So you're saying a social security number turns a name into a human being. So because the name has a social security number, that means that the name is now a living, breathing creature.
It's not the name that's the creature, it's the human being with the social security number, because everybody has one when they're...
But there is no human being that has a social security number. The name has the social security number.
Everybody has one.
No, the name. Everybody uses one. The name has one. I'm not about playing word games and trying to twist around words to try to put burdens of liability on. I'm not playing these word games. Stop the word games and just look at it as what it is. The name is given and assigned a social security number, and people use these numbers. Okay? People don't have these numbers. It's actually the government that has these numbers and allows these people to use these numbers. These people walk around with a social security card in their pocket. It doesn't mean that they have the number. They have the card. Okay? And they use the number on the card. That's it. Stop trying to concoct it into something as if you're trying to, put these people in a liability position. No, the name has the number, and the name and the social security card with the number was issued to the people for the people to use. And that is government information. They're using government information. The card is the property of the government that they are entitled and authorized to use. So stop saying that it's their number. No, it's not their number. It's the government's number. and it's not their car